This video is a project walkthrough for a project from Transamerican Auto Parts for their two websites, ProComp USA and SmittyBuild.com. The overarching goal of this project was to create a WordPress multi-site network that could house multiple subsites using the same parent theme and functionality for 5 or 6 different e-commerce marketing websites. So it ended up that the client only wanted to do 2, and so we completed the first 2, and then they moved in a different direction before they decided to move forward with the other ones. Originally, we would have had 5 or 6 websites following this same theme. As you can see here, these 2 websites are almost identical as far as the UX goes. The flow of the page, like page information architecture, is all the same. Logo, search bar, navigation, this vehicle finder here, a slider on the homepage, some product categories, some content, and then an opt-in in the footer. That is all the same on both of these websites. We are on a multi-site network for these websites. It continues to be on multi-site network, so you can make changes to the parent template that would apply to all of the websites. We no longer have management of these websites. They were turned over to the client, and I no longer have the actual repository, but I do have a copy of the repository that I'm linking with this project as well. And so I wanted to take a few moments and walk through some of the functionality that I built for this site. This was built in 2021, so it has been a little while. If you look closely at the JavaScript and jQuery in this project, it's a little bit messy. Not only were there time constraints, I was pushing my limits of what I had experience with at the time and learned a lot during this project. There are things I would definitely go back and do differently, especially with file organization for JavaScript, but also in the way that it's written as well. I'd be happy to walk through any questions you have about the JavaScript and jQuery on this. If you were to look through this, you would see some real interesting and messy, especially file organization, duplication of code, things that were not centralized. I've learned a lot since then, but I'm also still really proud of the actual functionality that we have going on here. So these sites are built with traditional PHP templates for the global elements such as the header and footer, as well as the post and page templates. The actual page content is still powered by WP blocks, but the templates are not a part of any kind. There's no full site editing on these. I don't know that full site editing existed at the time, but these are making use of traditional PHP templates. The homepage is fully ACF PHP template. There's no blocks on the homepage. This is all just PHP templates. Once you get onto the inner pages, in your content pages, you have block editing available there. So here, this is a block. These are blocks as well. Okay, so the structure of these sites is that we have the homepage, and then we basically, everything else on the website is products. There's a lot of interconnectivity once you have a vehicle selected. So one thing that we did was we needed to house about 30,000 vehicle types or vehicle IDs and have a way to parse through those in this form. So if you select your year, then it populates what makes are available for that year, models, submodels, and then engine type. Once you save that off, it refreshes the page and loads that up here. This data powers what you're able to see once you get into the products. The hierarchy, like the architecture for the products, is we have top-level product categories, then we have subcategories, and there are no products on that one. There's definitely going to be content discrepancies from when we launched this site to now. Since the client has been managing it, we have no further management of the site, so I don't see anything here. And we have one set of shocks here. And all right, so here's what we have. So we have the top level product category of suspension, the subcategory of shocks. Then we have, this is our like bottom level post type called product groups. But even this, as you can see, has multiple SKUs underneath it. So even though this is a bottom level post type, this is a PHP file for the single post type of product group. These products that show up underneath it are a separate post type called SKU. So we wanted to have the ability to have those be linked without this being a taxonomy. I think I might do it differently today, but at that time, that was the best we could do. So when you click this, you see a standalone SKU, product SKUs. You can see that in the URL structure here. That's the post type. And that gives you the details about this particular SKU. If you go back one, though, you see products as the slug or the front for this post type. That lets you know you're on a product group level. And what we wanted to do was make sure that we could have sort of one-to-many relationship here between the product group and the SKUs underneath it. These are only showing you, or these are showing you whether these items would fit your specific vehicle or not. And in this case, this item is not vehicle specific. If I found a vehicle or an item that was specific to my Honda Passport, it would show up here with a different UI. Over here in the repository that I'm linking, you can look through this. Back here at the kind of the top level, we're just seeing everything that would be in the WP contents folder of the project. If you go to plugins, you can see some of the base plugins that we were using. All of the functionality, though, for the project is inside of the parent theme, which is Transamerican Auto Parts. Smitty built child theme is the second theme that was built to handle the stylistic changes between the first site and the second site. So if I look at Transamerican Auto Parts, then I can see all of my files, functionalities, templates, things like that, including custom blocks and a lot of custom functionality. So we have registering custom post types, custom taxonomies, a lot of different things here. If you're interested in sort of clicking through the website, then you can also cross-reference what that looks like in code. If you have questions about any of that or how it was done, I would be happy to walk through it. I just wanted to, give you an opportunity to see some of the work that I've done over the last couple of years to get us, to get this website working and some of the functionality that it's doing. We additionally, in addition to just the product flow here of looking at this, we also have a page with custom functionality for a wheel finder. This is making an Ajax call to go and find wheels that fit the specifics that you are selecting here. And no wheels match that. I'm gonna see if I can reset it. See if I can get some wheels to show up. There we go. So we're using a similar UI to some of the other pages to get these wheels to show up here, which then takes you to the SKU page for that particular wheel. There's additional functionality across the site. For example, if this still exists, we spent a good bit of time building out a configurator for some of their low center of gravity things here. So no configurator works for the Honda Passport. So I'm going to pull, this is that same vehicle finder, but it has a restricted amount of vehicles applicable to it based on a database or a spreadsheet that they pre-selected. This uses a slider with back navigation here that you can use to go back and forth. Then you can select options here. This is all custom coded. This is Slick Slider jQuery plugin that I'm using here. But as far as the selections and what shows up here in this set, you've got all of this is custom coded depending on the selections you make. So for example, for my F-250 Super Duty, it's giving me these recommendations. If I go back and change my vehicle to a Ram, I'm going to get totally different recommendations of products. So these are different recommendations. I'm going to select the Pro. It's going to give me for my Ram 2500, it's going to give me those. I can choose my tires. I can choose um, it gives me all of my recommendations here, which I could then email to myself, or it's going to give me, send me over to their actual e-commerce site to help find a store. That's basically all that this page does, but it's another level of custom functionality that we built out for the site. And I think that kind of gives you an overview of the level of custom functionality that we've done on a site like this. This site, I was the only developer on. We have a lot of team projects, but this wasn't one of them. So everything that was built here was something that I built. Nothing in the UX has really changed, but like the content, there's going to be things that are missing from the content since the client has been managing it. Thank you for watching this. I hope that it's helpful to see some of the work that I have done. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it, and please let me know if you have any questions about the work that I've done on this site.